Well, good morning, and welcome to the Morning Report. My name is Willie Lawson. I trust that you are well this glorious Tuesday morning. Um, I waited for a while. Actually, it's almost Wednesday because something was going to happen today, and it happened after we normally put together the morning report. So while we were putting together tomorrow's morning report on Wednesday, we were waiting for this to happen. Special Counsel Jack Smith has indicted Donald Trump again, this time over the January 6th debacle, which has been overblown and overhyped in the liberal press. We know that, um, including the four charges that Trump faces in this investigation. A federal grand jury impaneled in D.C. returned a new indictment on Tuesday evening in its ongoing investigation in events following the 2020 election, including the events of and leading up to January 6, 2021. But the grand jury's indictment delivered to a judge on Tuesday remains sealed. The indictment, attained by our friends at Town Hall, confirms that Donald Trump is a defendant. The indictment lists four violations of which the 45th president is being accused. Count one, conspiracy to defraud the United States. Count two, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding. Count three, obstruction of an attempt to obstruct an official proceeding. Count four, conspiracy against rights. George Washington University Law School professor Jonathan Turley has posted at length about the perils of indicting Trump, namely that most of the charges he could face would be protected by the First Amendment. Though he added that the temptation to indict Trump in D.C., an anti-Trump bastion, might prove irresistible for the Justice Department. He was right, along with the free speech concerns too. Here's what NBC News said about one of the charges. Former President Donald Trump was indicted Tuesday on charges he conspired to defraud the country when he used to lead and attempted to prevent the peaceful transfer of presidential power to Joe Biden. The purpose of the conspiracy was to overturn the legitimate results of the 2020 presidential election by using knowingly false claims of election fraud to obstruct the government function by which these results are collected, counted, and certified. The indictment from the special counsel Jack Smith's office says the indictment. This is from NBC News. The indictment accuses Trump of taking part in three criminal conspiracies: to defraud the United States by using dishonesty, fraud, and deceit; to obstruct the electoral vote process; to impede the January 6th congressional proceeding at which the collective results of the presidential elections are counted and certified, and against the right to vote and have that vote counted. He's due to be arraigned on charges this Thursday. The issue here is there have been a slew of Democratic senators who have made similar points in fruitless attempts to challenge an election. We have seen this since 2004, according to Turley. The legal maneuver with the electors Trump tried to pull was bad legal advice, but that's also not illegal. He further eviscerated the charges here on Twitter, or whatever Twitter is being called nowadays. Turley writes, the special counsel Jack Smith just issued the first criminal indictment of alleged disinformation, in my view. If you take a red pen to all the material presumptively protected by First Amendment, you can reduce much of the indictment to haiku. Oh, wow. He further writes, I felt that the Mar-a-Lago indictment was strong. This is in the inverse. This is closer to the case against former Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell, where Smith was overturned by a unanimous Supreme Court. The press conference held by Smith only deepened the unease for some of us. Smith rallied against the January 6th riot and made it sound like he was indicting Trump on incitement. He didn't. The disconnect was glaring and concerning. A law professor warned that Smith has a history of stretching criminal statutes to the limits of their sanity. He also said that an indictment over January 6th was filed. Smith's case better be ironclad, as the public is now starting to see these legal actions as driven by politics, because they are, and not the rule of law. Now, here's the deal. If anybody at this point, I'm serious, if anybody at this point doesn't think all of this is political, I don't know what to tell you. I just don't know what to tell you if you don't think this is political. If you think this guy is this one person here is such a danger to the fabric of the country, they have got you. The left, the media, the politicians, they've gotten you. If you think that this one fellow, if elected president, is at 79 years old, or wherever old he's going to be, is going to rule the country with an iron fist, and that fascism will just run ramp. I don't know what you're thinking. I think that part of what we need to do is start asking people, what do you think would happen? Now, we were told, remember, I'm old enough to remember that we were told that if Donald Trump became president, that the stock market would come crashing down. No, it didn't happen. Just kind of the opposite, really. And that we were also told that we would end up in World War III, and one of the flashpoints would be North Korea. Remember, I'm old enough to remember that. And as I remember, and if you remember differently, just write it down in the comments, please. That there was not only no World War III, there wasn't any new fronts of any war opened anywhere for 4 years. So on that front, it was relatively peaceful. And the military industrial complex did not expand. So if you're kind of wondering why it is now, well, they spent 4 years not expanded. Just saying. First Amendment and everything. Just my opinion. Do I know what's going to happen? No. Do I trust the DOJ? No. Do I trust any of the people involved? Not at all. Not at all. After I saw what happened during COVID and the election and the things that we know are true, I don't put anything past these people. Nothing do I put past them. I'm hoping that the Republic survives the next few months. I am praying that the Republic survives. My advice to any of us is to use what's left of it to our benefit. Make sure that you watch my interview with the folks at transitionjustice.org on the morning report for Wednesday, August 3rd. August 3rd? No, August 2nd. It is fire, as the kids say. Absolute fire. All right. So until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.